So today I think I would try to give a broad outline of what the so-called new transformations that happens in the world of aquaculture, what we call the digital transformation or the age of innovations. And at the outset, let me thank the organizers for having me here. And it's my pleasure to see, I think there are a lot of students also in the group. So I think this will be informative for them as well. Um, what I will do is to narrate a bit of the new era of intensive aquaculture systems, and then how we can try to get over the new age challenges, and by some kind of vehicle, what Dr. Vijayan mentioned, the vehicle here is a kind of innovative transformation that we can ride over and then swim past the challenges in a way. That's the uh, outlook for future, what we see in the world of aquaculture. The global aquaculture value chain, ranging from the input supplies to the production and processing, marketing of quality and safe seafood, that encompass all the sustainable production systems and consumption patterns, forming the global entire value chain all over the world. And aquaculture, in the beginning, as we know, that the traditional aquaculture, which was characterized by the use of wild juveniles and also the natural water exchange through the tides, also the use of natural feeds. And that was a time when aquaculture grew steadily or expanded steadily, when we had no enough information on the kind of environmental impact, or we did not even have any environmental regulations. And that was a right playground for aquaculture to expand in or expand manifold. As we intensified the systems, we started using high density. The stocking density has become much higher, and genetics of the breeds that we use started to improve. And the feeds that we use, especially with the use of new age high health PLs, sometimes we call them turbo PLs or super PLs in shrimp farming, all necessitated the use of high quality feeds, nutritionally efficient, complete feeds, and also adoption of the best management strategies in terms of maintaining water quality, or use of supplements like probiotics for microbial management of the aquaculture production systems, or the more intensive systems like the recirculatory systems or bioflow systems. All these were characteristic of the expanding innovative phase of intensive aquaculture. But as the aquaculture intensified, we also know that there have been challenges and pressures, especially on the environment, in terms of pollution from the environment and also pollution to the environment. Aquaculture, especially intensive aquaculture, is known to pollute the environment. And it also created some kind of maybe conflicting resource uses and so many other challenges. And on top of it, we have the so-called climate change impacts that we believe are are known to affect the aquaculture systems. And the more recent pandemics or other kind of global disruptions that force us to think out of the box, how to cope up with this, the so-called new normal. So we increasingly realize now that there is a need for social distancing in aquaculture, as we do in our daily life these days. So we are looking at reducing the human interventions in aquaculture production systems, by increasing the efficiency and accuracy of the management strategies that we use. We try to use remote operations so that our you know uh, our limitations on travel or movement from one place to another could be overcome. And all this, we need to find new solutions for the new age challenges. And we need innovations in production, trade, and consumption of seafood. And we see the modern aquaculture to integrate technology, innovations, and on top of it, entrepreneurship. Dr. Vijayan talked about it a lot. And we need to integrate the technologies, the digital technologies which are emerging, the biotechnology, the bioengineering, and also the genome engineering, gene editing, and all those stuff, all those buzzwords that we hear every day. I just wanted to highlight this, the recent Nobel Prize that was given for the CRISPR gene editing. And technologies like this are going to have a great impact on aquaculture in the coming 10 years at least. So this is a fast pace in which our technological sector is expanding. So my focus today is the digital transformation that we all know that is happening all around us in our daily life, and this transformation is the core of modern business strategies. We know that aquaculture is the fastest growing food production sector. At the same time, digital technology is the most rapidly growing innovation in human history. We feel this digital transformation in every walks of our life. At least 50% of the population in developing world are connected by these technologies, say in health sector, the food sector, education sector, you name it. And these technologies help to transform societies, enhance our connectivity, financial inclusion, and provide access to trade and public services. So these technologies have grown from a mere use of internet or just the access to internet to skills on cognitive technologies. One example I cite from the education field, because we all are academicians, and we used to have physical campuses, but now these are going to the virtual campus. And we know that virtual education was here for over 25 years, but we needed a catalyst like the global pandemic to make full use of it, to transform from a physical campus to a fully virtual campus. So AIT was able to make use of it quite remarkably or quite well. And on account of any pandemic, we did not lose any single day, as we were able to transform all our classrooms to an interactive virtual hybrid classrooms uh, as early as in April to May period. So touching upon some of the path-breaking technologies that contribute to this global transition in digital technologies in terms of benefiting aquaculture. We know the IoTs and the big data, the artificial intelligence and machine language, the blockchain technologies, which form the backbone of all this transformation. And it touch upon all these, many of these aquaculture systems, especially the farm management, the broodstock management, the hatchery management. So I will just narrate a few techniques that are globally emerging and that are making a big impact in the global aquaculture industry, especially in Asia Pacific. So the IoTs, the Internet of Things, and the smart sensors are the basics of most of these, because it has now accessed many sectors, and aquaculture is no exception. And you know that the water quality monitoring is a major challenge in aquaculture, because we need to do it every day. So we have sensors that can give you real-time water quality data, and that facilitates autonomous data acquisition, analysis, and reporting. And now we have precise sensors that can measure the physiology or metabolism of fish. We have fish heart rate sensors even. So all these help us to get precise understanding of the production systems. Some of the sensors like the acoustic sensors have become quite popular and commercial these days. This example, a commercial farm in Thailand that use the water quality systems for monitoring and the water quality. In AIT also, we have a system that continuously provide the dissolved oxygen temperature and pH, and new systems for ammonia measurement are coming up. And this Veruaga technologies must be familiar to most of us in India. This company based in Hyderabad have been quite well versed with the production and distribution of several water quality and feed management systems. And in China has made a strong, robust network with IoTs, especially in the aquaculture sector. Uh, Setting up wireless sensor networks across different provinces. The computer vision for fish health monitoring or fish monitoring is a major innovation that has benefited from the automation of digital images and videos using computer algorithms, and these have reduced the need for continuous human intervention in the production systems. So they help in counting the fish fry and adult, measurement of fish body size, estimation of biomass, the gender detection, whether the fish is male or female, and the quality inspection of fish, the species and stock identification, monitoring and animal behavior and welfare. So many frontiers are being connected, and the artificial intelligence and machine learning help us to provide predictive analysis, data-driven decision making, accurate counting. All these help to minimize the feed wastage, reduce the cost of production, disease prevention, and apart from all the other environmental applications. One example of a counter using these images, vision-based systems. This startup has developed, the counters that can count a fish fry or adult fish quite remarkably well, even in hatcheries. Then I think most of you will be familiar with the smart feeders or the automatic feeders that have been found to be quite reliable and more precise than manual feeding. The salmon, it has been used for long. This photo is from a Norwegian salmon cage that continuously monitor the fish, the feeding, and that can even, count every feed pellet that is fallen into the cages. The Norwegian salmon cages are so big, 30-meter deep and 50-meter diameter. So huge in these huge cages, without these automated systems or without these intelligent feeding systems, it is quite difficult to accurately manage the feeding. The acoustic sensors have been quite popular, especially in shrimp culture. This system, developed by an Australian company, they uses the sound waves, the sonic technology, or they actually measure or senses the noise generated by the shrimp while they're feeding. So this helps to understand how much is what is the level of appetite in shrimp, and they have programmed it over so many million times, and then the algorithm can actually accurately predict the feed demand, and also based on the water quality changes. This is another example of a feeding system in Indonesia, e-fishery. This is also very popular among the farmers. And coming to the larger systems like the fish cages, we have several fish behavior tracking systems, the sensors that can no, that are more efficient than underwater cameras. So this system it has been tested in the Norwegian sea cages, have been quite successful. Then we have the drones or ROVs or remotely operated vehicles that are used underwater, especially in offshore cages where the data collection is quite difficult. So this is an example of a portable remotely operated vehicle that can monitor the fish, that can precisely understand the feeding levels, and also understand the breaks or any damage to the cages. All these are applications beyond the capacity of underwater cameras. This is another innovation that is going to revolutionize the 3D printing technology that have several applications. One great application is the development of fish robots that can be used for underwater remote operations to understand the environmental changes in the coral reefs, or you can see that they can mimic the swimming action of fishes. Another application of 3D printing is the real printing of aquaculture systems. For example, this startup, the 3D Pronics, it can take a printout of an aquaponic system, and there are other things connected to the ocean, like the seaweeds. Seaweeds are also used in this because a gel type material developed from the seaweeds are used to print medical implant devices. This may be the beginning of also the 3D printing of tissues and organs that are benefiting or that are beneficial to humans. So umpteen opportunities await in this sector. So how we would like to see the future fish farms? We can see that we are going to a stage where we can develop or we can produce fish from the sea with minimum human intervention, without any human being going there. The entire system is managed by drones or ROVs, smart feeders, sensors. All these, especially the development of aquaports, are in this direction. So we heard about the integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, the IMTA, which is again a promising system that can apply all these innovations for more efficient production of fish with the least environmental destruction. So this is again the future of aquaculture. So coming to the supply side, we have the blockchain technology emerging, which has a lot of applications in the agriculture sector. And you can see several startups coming up, like the fish coin. Blockchain is again a network where we can or that can facilitate safe and immediate transactions between suppliers and purchasers, and that can also ultimately lead to facilitate better traceability of the seafood that we produce. So there are more opportunities awaiting in this sector. You can see that now the aquaculture is getting more intensified, and at the same time, we can see that new age aquaculture is developing. This example of the CP Aquaculture company is building the Aquaculture 5.0 fish farm in the US. The 5.0 is the latest development, the fully automated development from the traditional 1.0 level. So this system can facilitate culturing shrimp anywhere. You don't need to depend on the ocean water, or you don't need to depend on any other resources. Everything can be customized, that can be fully customized for an urban aquaculture system, where you can also produce any seafood in your premises. So looking at the The other side of this transformation, the big question is, can these technologies help smallholder farmers? Because you know that worldwide aquaculture is produced by the small scale farmers. More than 90% of the aquaculture in Asia are produced by small scale farmers. How we can help these small scale farmers to adopt these innovations, or how they can be empowered? Maybe we have seen examples like farmers getting together to form clusters or cooperatives. So this is a big opportunity for farmers to come together, bargain together, produce together, and get the benefits together. So these kind of farmer associations or cooperatives are quite important in aquaculture production. As we know, there are challenges, there are infrastructure deficiencies in taking these digital technologies forward. But most important issue is the skill deficits, the skill deficiencies, which is not a local issue. Globally, the skill challenge is a big problem, uh, because you know that the technologies change and we need to continuously upskill the professionals with the new updates, new technologies, and integration of digital technologies with cognitive technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. And we need good governance to facilitate a continuous learning platform, continuous learning environment. So these are the some of the biggest, uh, you know, requisites for this digital transformation. And as I said, we need a continuous learning environment for digital skills, developing and also upskilling the professionals continuously. And to provide a better outcome from this is to develop business and entrepreneurship qualities. We know that globally aquaculture companies or agri-based companies are huge companies, huge corporates like the Cargill. I cite an example. They are a primarily agri-based company with a huge stake in seafood. So the opportunities for business and entrepreneurship are so much that we need to exploit or explore. And there are platforms that can facilitate startup or entrepreneurship platforms, the funding agencies, when a venture capitalists, all we should be able to explore. So in this background, I would think that the aquaculture industry, as you all know, is such an inherently resilient industry, and whatever pandemic or global disruption that is going to happen, ultimately will come as beneficial to aquaculture. That is what we have experienced. So we will end up with enhanced production because the demand is always increasing, and the disruptions will always ignite innovations. So with better innovative supply chain management, we can also enhance or improve both the international market and also the domestic consumption and domestic markets, thereby providing more benefits to the actual producers or the farmers. So we need, or what we need are some of the radical changes for the sector. We may, the pandemics may come or the challenges may come, but the most radical technology enabled production systems will prevail. And in this context, our objective is to retain competitiveness, but at the same time ensure the three pillars of sustainability: the environmental, economical, and social sustainability, for a sustainable aquaculture objective. And as researchers, academicians, and industry partners, we have more responsibilities than ever before. So my take from this is that, we have smart technologies and we cannot shy away from them. Aquaculture cannot shy away from them. We have to embrace them, embrace the technologies, innovations, but How well we can integrate these technologies or innovations or fit within a sustainable production model is the biggest challenge, and that will determine the success of these innovations and the future of aquaculture. Thank you very much for your patient listening.